Here we go. Now I can do it. Okay. All right, everybody. Welcome to Clear Vision Wednesday. I am Claudia Mühlenweg. I am a natural eyesight improvement teacher. And this is my weekly, I just realized it's called a vodcast. I guess if you do it on YouTube, it's called a vodcast, not a podcast. And okay. Can you please mute yourself? All right, everybody. Okay, sorry, it's myself. Apologies, I didn't have my own YouTube silence, which I always set up ahead of time. Anyway, sorry for the delay. So I'm super excited to introduce a guest today. We've been having guests all throughout June, and I couldn't be more excited about introducing Dhyana, who has been working with the Naturally Clear Vision method. But here's the thing: she's an Ayurvedic, a certified, board-certified Ayurveda practitioner, nutritional consultant, and Vedic astrologer. And she has been working with like over 40 years of experience in other holistic practices like cranial-sacral therapy, colorpuncture, what else? Bodywork. I'm reading off all, like her list of credentials is so large, but I don't want to get too stuck on that because Dhyana is here to tell us today about some Ayurvedic eye rejuvenation practices. And I've gotten so many requests all the time about like, what can you do? Can you put castor oil in your eye or not? So Dhyana is here to answer all those questions, and I will spotlight you, Dhyana. So welcome, you're still muted. So welcome to the show, and yeah, take it away. Practices, and I've gotten so many requests all the time about like, what can you do? Can you put castor? Can you mute your YouTube channel or turn that off or close the browser? Dhyana, I think you're live on YouTube. Yeah, take it away. You have to turn that off. You have to close your browser, your whatever browser you have, because you're playing my own voice, or turn the sound off on YouTube. Are you done that? Because otherwise we're going to have an echo the whole time. All right. So let me know when you're ready. Because you're playing my own. Okay, quit your browser. Sorry, guys. Apologies for the delay. There's some technical issues. So Dhyana, just quit your browser, whatever browser you're using, and just use Zoom so that we don't have an echo with my YouTube. And let me know when you've done it and give me a thumbs up, and then I will unmute you. All right. Are we ready to go? Echo with my YouTube.
I do not have a browser open.
Let me know when you've done it and give me a thumbs up, and then I will unmute you. Okay, great. So let's begin. Just go ahead with your presentation. So welcome. Super excited about the Ayurvedic eye practices. Go ahead.
I do not have a browser open.
Let me know when you've done it and give me a thumbs up, and then I will unmute you.
I do not have a browser open. It seems like there's quite a delay.
So let's begin. Just go ahead with your presentation. So welcome. Super excited about the Ayurvedic eye practices. Go ahead. I do not have a... Okay, Dhyana, you have something open because I hear my reflection of the YouTube. So we have to stop the live stream if you can't figure that out, because otherwise we hear when you're talking, we always hear there's always a delay on YouTube. Sorry about you guys on YouTube. There's always a 20-second delay. So you have to make sure that you do not have a browser open or YouTube open or anything on your device, just the Zoom call, because I hear an echo somewhere on another device, maybe. I don't know where it is. Trisha, we cannot restart it. Otherwise, the live stream key, I think on YouTube is going to be gone. If I quit the YouTube live, I don't think I can go live again. We would lose the whole recording. And so, yeah. Let me see.
You're muted, Dhyana.
Okay. How's this?
Yeah, now I don't hear myself anymore.
Great. Oh, great.
We hear
Wow.
both of you. I hear both of you. You're both
Okay,
fine.
we're good.
You're fine.
Good.
Yep, you're both fine.
Okay, great. Oh, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I'm very excited to share the Ayurvedic eye care therapies that I love. I love to use them myself. I love to share them with my clients. And I'm really happy to share them with you because they are incredibly useful and valuable. You can do a lot of them at home. And so I'm going to go ahead and jump in. And I do have a PowerPoint here. I did have a PowerPoint. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Let's see. So I need to share my screen. There's Ganesh. All right. So can you see the whole frame?
Yeah, we can. Yes, we can. But you probably need to go into play mode so that we just see the one slide.
Oh, okay.
Dhyana, on the bottom bar, there's usually a couple little icons, and it's the little, right now it's in the little window square icon. There you are. There's 4, and then there's a one big one. The big one is the tabletop. Keep
Yep.
going over to go 2 more over to the right. There you go. Click on that big one, and that'll make it full screen.
Oh,
And then you got
beautiful.
the arrows at the bottom left, and that'll be your directions to go forward or back.
Oh, okay. Great. Thank you, Tricia. Okay, so here we are. And there's a little info about me. And okay, so Ayurveda is an ancient but very, very applicable modern day holistic health system. And I've been practicing for about 10 years and do have a background as a holistic practitioner for 40 years. So I really love Ayurveda. It brings everything together in a really beautiful way. If you don't know the science of Ayurveda, it is an element-based system similar to Chinese medicine, and everything in the universe, including ourselves, is made up of these 5 Mahapanchabhutas, the 5 great elements. So we have Vata dosha, which is air and ether. We have Pitta, which is fire and water. And we have Kapha, which is water and earth. And so the science of life, or the knowledge of longevity, is what the word Ayurveda means. And our subject today is the eyes and eyesight. And the eyes are governed by the element fire and are considered to be the seat of Pitta in the body. And each one of the doshas governs huge categories of life experience, physical attributes, mental, emotional attributes. We learn in Ayurveda about our birth constitution, known as our prakriti or prakriti, depending on if you're from the north or the south of India. And when we know our birth constitution, we have a lot greater understanding of how we tick, of how we run, about our nature. And when we are in alignment with our natural birth constitution, we're considered to be the most balanced. But as we know, balance is a process of constantly readjusting. Nothing's static. So we need to be aware that in Ayurveda, we are balancing the qualities of elements. So it can become very common sense, simplified. If we're dealing with pitta, for example, if we're dealing with heat imbalances, which can include inflammation, being overly sensitive to light or heat, the emotions of anger, frustration, judgment, for example, all of these are ruled by fire. And then we want to apply the opposite. And that's the basic strategy. We apply the opposite to create balance. And so if we're excessive in the area of vata or air and space, then we need grounding. We need earth element. We need stability. We need routine. The qualities of vata, for example, can be cold, can be dry, can be mobile, scattered. The energy is change. My teacher uses the mantra, the leaf never falls in the same place twice. And so with vata, we have so much creativity and enthusiasm and movement, but we may not be structured in our approach to our daily life. So here we are with the energy of pitta, and the quality is transformation. It governs digestion, including the digestion of our experiences in life, knowledge, intelligence, our perception, as well as our eyesight. And the eyes are considered the seat of pitta in the body. So they're very important, this process of seeing, comprehending, understanding, and digesting. The organ associated with eyesight is the liver. And the liver in the body has so many jobs, hundreds actually, a very busy organ. It can become overburdened. But the liver is considered the leader, the general, and gives us focus and direction. And the emotion, as I said, is anger, but the potential is flow. And there's a beautiful Chinese herb formula called the easy wanderer. And so we want our energy to flow, much like we want our eyesight to dance and flow with what it's seeing. But pitta can be a very intense, fixed, focused energy. And though it rules eyesight, often people who have eyesight issues may have a pitta imbalance. So each sensory organ, the eyes, ears, the sense of smell, taste, touch, has a corresponding faculty of action. And in this case, for eyes, this faculty of action is walking. And the motor organ is the legs and the feet. And you've probably heard Claudia refer to the importance of having those leg channels open and the feet open to receive that earth energy and ground us and stabilize us, to have healthy eyesight. So that's quite interesting. So each one of the doshas, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, have many different qualities. And the one that governs eyesight is called the Alachak Pitta. And I found this quote super interesting by Dr. Vasant Lad, who is the grandfather of Ayurveda here in the US. And he really is responsible for bringing Ayurveda to the United States back in the 70s from India. And he's been teaching at the Ayurveda Institute in Albuquerque, New Mexico for the last 30, 40 years. It's a beautiful Ayurvedic center. And he's quite enlightened and wise and a beautiful, very beautiful soul. He's still teaching, if you're lucky enough to catch him. And I found this really interesting that he says that the root cause of Alachaka Pitta disorders, in other words, eyesight disorders, is suppressed tears and avoidance of seeing reality. And I found that a really, really strong statement. In Ayurveda, we say not to suppress natural urges. And crying is a natural urge. And I thought this was also extremely beautiful, which is the Alachaka Pitta is very much associated with the emotions. And we've been exploring this and discussing this in the Naturally Clear Vision course, how much the stress that affects our eyesight is connected to our emotions. And that we need to oftentimes release buried emotions that we couldn't handle, whether it's from last week or childhood or possibly even prior to that. So I found this super interesting that our tears emit from different parts of the eyes, and that Vata tears are tears of frustration or very deep grief and fear. And they generate from the inner corner of the eye and are bitter and astringent. And that Pitta tears of anger and frustration come from the center of the eye and are sour and hot. If you've ever felt those hot tears, you know what I'm talking about. And this just almost brings me to tears to talk about that tears of love and joy come from the outside corners of the eyes and are sweet. One of the qualities of kapha. I didn't put kapha in there, but yes, they're kapha tears. Kapha is the energy of unconditional love and care, and it's the earth and the water element. And this beautiful drawing is by Dr. Lad. So we have many eye remedies in the Ayurvedic system. And they go back many, many thousands of years. And what I like to say is that Ayurveda is the natural health and wellness, preventative wellness, first aid wellness of many cultures. It's an indigenous medicine in many cases, even though Ayurveda is very sophisticated and includes surgery and a vast amount of knowledge. But every indigenous culture that's connected to nature has their own version of Ayurveda, of using plant medicines, of understanding the cycles of nature, of living in harmony in accordance with nature. And that really is what Ayurveda teaches us, and why it's so important for us in our modern day world, where we're caught up in artificial light and so much external focus and disconnection from many of the things that really, truly nourish us deeply: our community, our family, our connection to nature, the ability to share the beauty of life through the senses. So, castor oil. Yes, of course. So I've had many questions throughout the course about castor oil eye drops. And I didn't necessarily mean to just jump into this, but that seems to be the order this is in. What I would say is that what I want to say before I get into the remedies is that each sense organ is oriented to the head, right? We have so many doorways or openings, doorways of perception in the head, and we call them the upper channels. The upper channels. So we have there's an overlap between the Asian health sciences, like Chinese medicine, and Ayurveda. And there's an overlap and exchange. But we have the lower dantian in Chinese medicine, we have the middle dantian, we have the upper dantian, we have the chakras in the yoga system, and yoga and Ayurveda are from the Vedas and are related. And we have a directional flow that we want to pay attention to. And the upper channels connect us to prana, which is the life force energy. It's like chi. And is often connected to the concept of breath. And we could say that the breath is not the prana itself, but the breath rides prana. Yes. And so what we're doing is, being the eyes and the senses are in the upper channels, is we are doing things to help to embody and nourish these, because fire rises. My teacher, Dhyana Bohnet from the Dhyana Center, says fire rises in the body just like it rises in the house. And so the eyes are governed by fire, and heat rises. So we need to cool and nourish. Fire has it can dry things out. Depletion or dryness is a symptom of vata imbalance. So we want to apply the elements, starting with, and I wouldn't start with the oil necessarily, but I would start with an element of the daily routine, which is water. And so the dinacharya, or the daily rituals that Ayurveda is famous for and loves to support us to bring order and harmony into our daily practices, says to start your day by cleansing your senses, by splashing cool water on them. And if you hold cool water in your mouth at the same time, it's said to be even more hydrating and nourishing. We clean the mouth, We scrape the tongue with a silver wire. And then we bathe, right? We bathe the body to start the day fresh. We spend some time with an introspective focus to start our day. But getting into the remedies, and oops. Oops. Here we
You
are.
probably want to go backwards to the castor oil because you didn't really talk about the castor oil. So
Yes. Okay, so the castor oil eye drops. This is a very simple, effective, and safe way to nourish the eyes and the eyesight. And it is said that you can also put castor oil on the soles of the feet at night, and that will enhance the effects of putting castor oil in the eyes. And castor oil eye drops are usually administered at night because if you know castor oil, and I have some here, it is a thick, very thick, clear, viscous oil. And we always, when we're administering castor into the eyes, we want to use very high quality, organic castor oil. A glass container is preferred, and they are available out there. This is known to strengthen eyesight. It reduces inflammation, and it is supportive to help to dissolve the buildup that cataracts form. And it is also helpful for glaucoma because it helps to open the pathways of lymphatic flow around the eyes, and it helps the eye drain. And so this is something that you can do 1 drop in each eye and then massage around your eyes. You can massage kind of into the conjunctiva, under the lids lightly. Sometimes people will just put a smear on their fingertips and massage along the eyelash line. And that can be a good way to do it. If you're a little squeamish about putting a drop in your eye, you can start a little bit more conservatively and do that. And you can massage all around the eye on the marma points, which are the acupressure points. And you can drain. There's actually the lymph nodes are all around here. And you can do the squeezing of the eyebrow. There are points. If you want to do this right now, we can do just a few.
we can only see a slide, so we won't be able to see. Or you're very small. At least you're very small. I can make
okay. So maybe we'll do that at the end if we have time.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so this is a really, really beautiful way to alleviate dry eyes. And it can be cleansing for the eyes. So the tear duct is a really, really important orifice to the eyes. And if your eyes are well hydrated, when you touch that tear duct, there should be some moisture there at any point throughout the day. You know, if it's dry, we want that tear duct to be open, and it can become depleted itself and kind of closed. And that can contribute to eye issues. So when we put the castor oil in our eyes, it's helping to rejuvenate that all-important duct. the tear duct. So you can massage all around the eyes. It moves the lymph fluid and circulation. So that is basically the 101 of castor oil eye drops. And you can do it on a nightly basis. What I often say to people is that it's good to pulse your remedies. So it might be that you would do it every night for 5 to 7 days, let's say. And then you might give it a rest. And then you might notice that your eyes start to feel dry or scratchy again, and then you can reintroduce it. Although you can do it on a daily basis, I do find that it strengthens and clarifies my eyesight. My eyes feel much better. And if you find that it's too goopy and you're actually getting castor oil on your pillow, which can stain, you might be using too much. So in that case, you could just kind of massage it around a bit before you hit the pillow. Oops. Okay. So the next remedy I want to tell you about is a steam inhalation. Oops. Oops. Goodness. I lost my backwards arrow. How did that happen?
It's on the very left, bottom left.
Oh, okay. Okay, so good. Thank you. Okay, so steam inhalation. Very, very simple. You boil some water. You can put some fresh herbs, flowers from your garden into the boiling water. Tent your head, bring it, you can put it in a bowl, you can have a pot, safely move it to a table, sit in front of it. Tent your head with a big towel and breathe that beautiful aromatic steam. And you can make a decoction, meaning you can boil roots such as like cinnamon bark, turmeric root, ginger if you need warming. But you can also just place your leaves. Rosemary sprigs are great for the respiratory system, bay leaves, your lavender, sage, marjoram, thyme. Rose is beautiful, beautiful for the eyes. It's very cooling. And it's a beautiful tonic for a wet condition in the eyes, as is lemon balm, the mints, chamomile. So you can make a beautiful home remedy. And when you're breathing under that tent, it's not only opens up the sinuses. There's another picture, herbal steam inhalation. So there you go, drape a towel. And you can inhale and breathe the aromatic steam for 10 to 15 minutes. Oops, there was a benefit. Well, that's the slide I lost this morning. The benefits are many. It clears and opens the sinuses. It warms the tissues. It relaxes the eyes. It releases pain. You can massage while you're in there. And the beauty of this treatment is that it's very, very cleansing emotionally. If you come home from work, you're tired, you're grumpy, you don't feel well, you have eye strain, doing a steam inhalation is one of the easiest, most amazing transformations that makes you feel refreshed. It clears the emotional energy, and you're getting lung expansion. So it's very good for people when they're stopping smoking, that desire for lung expansion, right? You get the steam, you get the aromatics from the plants. And so it's a really, really beautiful natural remedy. And you can find what's growing in your garden and keep it seasonal. Okay. Okay, so this is a really wonderful meditation, and it's called Tratak. And this is a very, very classic ancient Ayurvedic remedy to restore eyesight. And it involves simply doing a candle gazing meditation. And similar to sunning, the eyes need light to see. And when we do a candle gazing meditation, we're bringing that light and that fire energy into the eyes. And it restores focus. It cultivates focus and clarity. It's cleansing and rejuvenating for the eyes. It's actually very, very strengthening, and it's always recommended in an Ayurvedic eye care situation because it will strengthen and tonify your vision. So it's recommended that you do this in a darkened room. And if you can do it at night, before sunrise or after sunset, that's recommended. You can look into the candle flame. You set it at eye level. My teacher, Dhyana, says she loves to do it in the bath, or you can set it on your table. You look into the candle flame, and you can gaze into the flame without blinking. And I know we are not really into not blinking in natural vision improvement. Blinking is super important to keep the eyes lubricated and nourished and unfixated. But in this practice, if you can allow the eyes to just go into the flame and not blink, and of course, if you blink, it's fine. They may water, they may sting at first. You can relax the eyes. But if you can do that, it has a very beneficial effect for a minute or two. And then you close your eyes and you take that candle flame image into your third eye and just allow it to energize and rejuvenate your third eye. And it's a centering, very, very beautiful centering meditation. And then you can repeat this cycle a few more times. Okay. So neti pot. Neti means eye. Okay. In Sanskrit. And a neti pot, and I do have one here. I'm sure you've seen them. You make a warm water saline solution. And basically it's a half teaspoon per cup. So if you have a 2-cup measuring cup, you can dissolve the salt in there and let it dissolve. Yeah, dissolve. And then you allow the water to cool to a point where it's just above body temperature. So it's warm, but not too hot and not too cool. And then you do this. and you probably can't see me that well. And maybe when I'm not doing the slides, I'll demonstrate, but without water, of course. Okay, so so this is a really, really also very rejuvenating, refreshing for the eyes, the sinuses, and the ducts that go up into the inner sagittal sinuses and behind the eyes. They're all connected. So as you know, when you cry, you have to blow your nose, right? So there's openings there, there's channels. This is the upper channels. So this is a very beautiful way to alleviate allergies, pollen, sinus irritation, clears congestion. It actually removes pressure from behind the eyes. And it really is a beautiful cleansing for the third eye. And you go right to where the glands, the pituitary gland sits behind, right behind that sinus area. And it clears the mind. So it's a body, mind, and spirit, I would say, remedy, because it does clear the third eye. And if you do it as a regular practice, you will have less mental clutter, and you can open up your clear seeing on energy levels as well. So it's a really, really useful natural remedy. And you can make an herbal tea infusion, continue to add the salt, and it's very, very effective for clearing sinus infections. So nausea is the word for nasal therapy. So the nostrils. It's good to use either a medicated oil or a regular sesame or coconut oil, some kind of natural organic vegetable oil, olive you could use, to put in clean hands. You put a drop or two in the palm of your hand, and you gently go in and you massage the inside of your nostrils. And this is a super important practice to keep those tissues in there lubricated. If you get dried mucus in there, and we know what that is, right? It can crack the tissue, which makes you vulnerable to airborne pathogens. So this is super important. And just doing it for a couple days, if you have sores in your nose, if you have a buildup of dried mucus in your nose, this is a very, very simple way to address it. And this particular nausea oil has some essential oils, some other beneficial herbs infused into it. Okay, so Claudia mentioned that I am a Vedic astrologer. And just to show the correlation, Jyotish is the Sanskrit name for Vedic astrology, and Jyoti means light, and Jyotish is considered the eyes of the Vedas. So interesting that all this energy for seeing is part of what I offer. So, now here's just a few pictures. You've probably heard about these. I do offer these treatments in person, obviously. And this is called a netrabasti. Netra means eyes, neti means eye. That's why we know it's meant to be connected to the third eye. So this is a ghee eye bath, and you pour warm ghee and let the eye soak there for 20 minutes or so. And during a treatment like this, you're draining the lymph, you're clearing congestion, you're doing a massage all around the eye with the ghee. And it's amazing, the mucus, the air, the hairs, all kinds of things can be released, and the ghee holds on to it and sequesters it so that it can be carried away. So if you've gotten, scratchy debris in your eye, this is a possible solution. And here's another classic Ayurvedic remedy that's often used in panchakarmas. And this is a steady stream of warm oil or milk on the forehead, on the third eye, or around the head. It's not always just one straight stream, but we massage the scalp. It flows through. And this is also an extremely helpful remedy for mental stress, strain, any imbalances in the upper channels. And so I just thought I'd include that. Okay. So here we are. I want to see if you have any questions, but I am making a special offer of a private session with me. That would be on Zoom, or if you happen to be in North Bay, California. I live in Sebastopol, California, which is about an hour north of San Francisco. You could come to my treatment center, and we could do an in-person pulse assessment, Ayurvedic pulse assessment. We could do a hands-on treatment. But I am offering an Ayurvedic health consult combined with a Vedic astrology reading, a little of both, or a Vedic astrology session for the Clear Vision Wednesday and the Naturally Clear Vision members. So there's the pricing right there. And this offer, I'll accept this offer through July of this year. And here's my email and my website if you'd like to get in touch with me. And so there you go. That's what I have prepared for you.
Thank you so much. I will have to put that in the chat and on YouTube as well. So if maybe you can put it in a Zoom chat and then I can put it on YouTube, that would be great. That was wonderful. And I have a few questions on YouTube, and then we have some on the Naturally and the Clear Vision Club. My Clear Vision Club members are with us on Zoom, and everybody else. So yeah, I think you can take that slide down. Let me, if you give me the link to the website and your Gmail, then we can basically, okay. I can copy that into the YouTube chat as well so that everybody has that. And yeah, just stop your screen share at the bottom. Just stop your screen share. You have to go to the bottom of the Zoom panel.
Oh.
At the bottom menu in the Zoom panel, it says stop screen, or the top, or maybe it's on the top when you share the screen.
There it is.
Yes, great. Okay, awesome. So yeah, put that in the chat, and then I can put it in the YouTube chat. Let me just look at YouTube real quick if there were any questions. I think it was mostly comments. This is awesome, interesting. Kim is saying, I had no idea my neti pot helped my eyes. But yeah, if there's any questions, then let us know. So I don't see any questions on YouTube right now. I just see comments, so I don't see any questions. And let me look at the chat here in Zoom. If there's any questions here, we can also do those later, as because everybody that's with us on in the Clear Vision Club gets to hang out with us on Zoom, and we do a little Q&A after the YouTube live ends. Just so for those of you that are interested, I always say Naturally Clear Vision. Naturally Clear Vision is my online program. Clear Vision Club is my membership, my monthly membership, and Dhyana is one of the members. And Clear Vision Wednesday is obviously the free show that we're doing right now. So, but yeah, let me know if there's any questions on YouTube. Otherwise, we will stop the YouTube share. If you don't have any questions on YouTube, okay, Nicole is saying that was very interesting. Yeah, if you have no questions, then we will end the YouTube live. I will put in the, let me just put in really quickly the links so that you guys have them on YouTube as well. Now I can't find them anymore. Here we go. Okay, here's the email. So I'm just going to put that in here. And then the website is, I don't see the link for the website right now in the chat.
It's right here.
Okay.
It's in the chat. I can put it again.
Okay. I couldn't, it's okay. I found the one with the credentials. So I'm going to put the Just delete the rest of that. Oops, no, I copied the
That won't
same
work.
thing. It's all right. I will get it and then put it on YouTube. But it seems like nobody has any questions. That's very surprising. Like I have a bazillion questions, but I guess nobody on YouTube has any questions. So last chance, YouTube. If you don't ask now, then it's too late. All right. It seems like nobody has any questions. So make sure to subscribe to this channel, to Clear Vision Wednesday, my YouTube channel. I will post a link, a live link, but make sure to subscribe to the channel. Click the little bell icon so that you get notified when we go live. I have different guests on all the time. Sometimes it's just me. And also if you have anything you want us to talk about in July, because I don't have July topics outlined yet. So if there's anything you want to hear or learn or want to know, then let me know. The best way to do that is the Clear See Clearly Facebook group. So I will have to put a link into the chat. But yeah, if you go to Facebook and go search for See Clearly Without Glasses, that's my free Facebook group. That's where you can request topics or you can comment underneath these videos on YouTube. All right. Okay, now Nicole is asking a question. Now that I was just about to close the YouTube, how often could we do the neti pot?
Yeah, you can do the neti pot daily if needed. If you're dealing with some kind of sinus issue, you can do it daily. The thing I would say, being you're using salt is hydrating to the tissues to a point, but it can become too drying. So that's where you want to use a little bit of oil after the neti pot. And when you put that oil in, you massage the inside of your nostril, you can kind of snort like this. You can just kind of draw it up into the upper sinus a little bit. And there are methods where they even will say kind of pour it into your nose. That can be a bit much. It depends. It can exacerbate symptoms sometimes if somebody has a lot of wet mucus.
Okay.
So yeah, daily, weekly is good. We like to maybe create a self-care ritual where on a weekly basis, you maybe do a few extra self-care routines, like do a steam inhalation, do a neti pot. If you're dealing with some kind of an issue, you could do it daily.
Yeah, but if you don't, then maybe once a week would be fine. And you wanted to show earlier, you had the slides on, you wanted to show something that's kind of, I want to share that with YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So you had something, you were demonstrating something, but we couldn't really see it, or we could see it.
Oh, okay. Yes.
So maybe we should finish with
sure.
that.
I'll just show you a few points. The Marma points are essentially Ayurveda's version of acupressure points. And obviously, all around the eyes, there are points, but I'm going to show you a few.
And would you use oil on those, or are you just talking about that kind of acupressure type thing versus?
Yeah, you could definitely use oil. And when you do the castor oil drops at night, I definitely encourage that you massage around your eyes and over the eyelids. Obviously, you're being careful with your eye. You don't want to use undue pressure, but you can move the lymph and help it drain. And the castor itself is a wonderful oil. It has very special properties. It helps to normalize and regulate tissues. So if you've got some kind of blockage building up in the eyes, castor oil will open that and get the flow between the anterior and the posterior chambers of the eyes, the fluids, the vitreous, and the other one.
Aqueous humor.
Yeah.
So how many would you just put one drop of I've never put castor oil into my eyes. I've done it on my eyelashes and my eyebrows and about the eyes. One drop.
Yeah, one drop. Okay. One drop. I mean, if you felt like you needed two, you could use two, but that's going to be a substantial amount. So you do it before bed because it'll take a little while for it to absorb.
Right. Well, like your vision will be blurry. I noticed even that I put it on the eyelashes and a little bit gets into the eyes, like your vision will get blurry. So don't do that during the day.
Right. Right. And and it may cause a little bit of a discharge from the eye, like the sandies, the gritty stuff that you might wake up with in the morning. That's a sign of dry eyes. So when that when that dryness is being cleared from the eyes, when you do your castor oil therapy, you might get more of that initially. And it's just clearing it out. Yeah.
So there's 2 more questions and then we're going to end the YouTube live. But it was like Jean's asking, is it good when you have a dry eye condition? So the castor oil treatment, right? That's something.
Absolutely. Very specifically.
Yeah. So very good. Something you should do basically once every night, right? Put that in there. She has very dry eyes. Okay.
Yes.
And then Tanya is asking, is the neti pot better than the Neil Med sinus rinse? You know, Neil Med is like a brand that, Yeah,
I mean, I like it because there's no preservatives, there's no plastic. You can do it at home. You just want to get a really good quality salt, some kind of unprocessed salt. The gray salt is a very good one. The pink salt is endangered, so I don't necessarily recommend it. The gray salt, there's white salts, but you definitely want an unprocessed salt, not a table salt.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, those are great. Okay, there's gonna come one more. I wash my face daily with castor oil. Any issue with that? I can now add lymphatic massage. So
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. No problem. It's oops.
It's all right. We will end the YouTube. We are basically out of time anyway. We wanted to go to 45. We went for an hour. So YouTube, subscribe to the channel. We are here every Wednesday at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. And if you subscribe, you get notified. Or if you're on my email list, if you're interested in getting on my email list, I will post it underneath the video. But you can go to naturallyclearvision.com/10 habits. So you get a little free gift and you will also get added to my email list. And then you will find out about all the cool things I'm doing. All right, you guys. Goodbye on YouTube. I'll see you next Wednesday.
Bye. Thank you for coming.
Okay. So